What if the single biggest threat to your financial future isn't a bad stock market or a surprise bill, but something you do every single day without even thinking about it? Something so quiet, so routine, that you don't even notice it's slowly draining your bank account and your potential. Today, we're diving deep into a powerful warning from one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett. We're going to talk about how a common habit is quietly destroying wealth and what you can do to stop it. In this discussion, we'll cover 5 key topics that form the core of Buffett's warning. First, we'll explore why patience isn't just a virtue, but a financial superpower. Second, we'll break down the magic of long-term thinking and how it builds immense wealth over time. Third, we'll get real about emotional control and why your feelings are your worst financial advisor. Fourth, we'll expose the hidden cost of impulsive spending and how it sabotages your future self. And finally, we'll look at how short-term thinking is a slow leak in your financial boat. Stick around because at the end, I'll share one simple, practical mindset shift you can start using today to turn all of this around. Welcome, I'm really glad you're here. If you're ready to take control of your money and your future, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel Elevate Your Daily. Let's get into it. 1. Patience is your financial superpower. Let's be honest, in our world today, we want everything now. We want the new phone, the new car, the instant gratification of a purchase, the quick win in the stock market. Patience has become almost extinct. We've been trained by technology, by advertising, by a culture built on speed and consumption to expect immediate results. But Warren Buffett's entire philosophy is built on the exact opposite. He's famous for saying that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Think about that for a second. It's not about being smarter than everyone else in the room, it's about being able to sit still longer than they can. Patience is the bedrock of his strategy. He doesn't buy a company for a quick flip, he buys it because he believes in its business model for the next 20, 30, even 50 years. He's in it for the long haul. And that's where the real magic happens. The market will panic, it will crash, it will have terrifying headlines every single year. The impatient investor sees a 10% drop and sells in a panic, locking in their loss. The patient investor, the one who's done their homework, sees that same drop as a potential buying opportunity or just a temporary blip on a much longer journey. Your superpower isn't your ability to predict the next big thing, it's your ability to ignore the noise and stay the course. It's the discipline to watch your portfolio go down and not touch it because you know your plan is built on a foundation of time, not timing. This isn't some mystical concept, it's practical, it's boring even, but boring is brilliant when it comes to money. It's the decision to hold on to a solid investment through a recession because you know the company will be around long after the recession is a memory. It's the choice to keep putting money into your retirement account every single month, no matter what the news is saying, because you trust in the power of decades of compounding. Patience is the shield that protects your wealth from your own worst instincts. It's what allows the slow, steady drip of your investments to eventually become a raging river. Without it, you're just a leaf floating on the surface of the market's chaos, blown in every direction by fear and greed. With it, you become the rock in the stream, unmoved and unshaken, letting time do all the heavy lifting for you. This is the core of Buffett's success, and it's available to anyone who's willing to wait. Remember, he didn't become a billionaire overnight. His wealth was built dollar by dollar, year by year, through an unwavering commitment to patience. He understood early on that the game is not won in a sprint, but in a marathon, and the winners are not the fastest, but the most consistent and the most enduring. 2. The magic of long-term thinking is your ultimate wealth builder. This is where Warren Buffett's philosophy truly shines. He doesn't think in quarters or even in years. He thinks in decades and generations. He's on record saying his favorite holding period is forever. That's a mindset shift so profound it's almost alien in our hyper-speed culture. We live in an age of TikTok trends and overnight sensations, where success is measured in viral moments, not in legacy. Long-term thinking forces you to look past the immediate, the flashy, the hot stock of the moment. It makes you ask a different set of questions. Instead of, will this go up next week, you ask, will this company still be a leader in its industry in 20 years? Instead of, can I afford this new gadget today, you ask, how will spending this money today affect my ability to achieve my biggest life goals 10 years from now? This is the power of compounding, which Warren Buffett calls the eighth wonder of the world. It's not sexy, it's just math, but it's a math that works silently and relentlessly in your favor if you give it enough time. Imagine you invest a modest amount of money. In the first few years, the growth is slow, almost imperceptible. You might not even notice it. But then, as the years turn into decades, something incredible happens. Your money starts earning money, and that new money starts earning money, and that new money starts earning money. It's a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering more and more mass with every turn. The long-term thinker understands this and feeds the snowball consistently. They make regular contributions, they reinvest their dividends, and they stay out of their own way. They know that the biggest gains are made not in the first year or the second, but often in the last 5 or 10 years of a long holding period. This is why short-term thinking is so destructive. It keeps you focused on the tiny movements of the market, making you jump in and out, paying fees, and missing out on the powerful upward trajectory that only reveals itself over a long time horizon. Long-term thinking is an act of faith in the future, in your own discipline, and in the fundamental growth of quality businesses and the economy as a whole. It's a bet on tomorrow being better than today, and it's a bet that, historically, has paid off handsomely for those who are patient enough to collect their winnings. Warren Buffett doesn't try to predict the future, he simply positions himself to benefit from it by owning wonderful businesses for a very, very long time. He understands that the true value of an investment isn't realized in its first year, but in its 50th. That's the magic most people completely miss. 3. Emotional control is your secret financial weapon. Warren Buffett has a simple yet brutal truth. If you cannot control your emotions, you cannot control your money. This is the core of his entire approach. The market is an emotional roller coaster designed to prey on our deepest fears and our wildest hopes. When prices are soaring, everyone feels like a genius. Greed takes over and you're tempted to pour all your money in, to chase the high, to believe this time is different. Then, when the market inevitably corrects or crashes, fear takes the wheel. Your heart pounds, your stomach drops, and every instinct screams at you to sell everything and run for the hills to project what's left. This is where most people lose. They buy high out of greed and sell low out of fear, the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. Warren Buffett, on the other hand, is famously unemotional about his investments. He and his partner, Charlie Munger, pride themselves on making decisions based on cold, hard logic and thorough analysis, not on how they're feeling that day. They see a market crash not as a disaster, but as a sale. It's an opportunity to buy wonderful businesses at a discount. This requires a level of self-mastery that is incredibly difficult. It means acknowledging your fear, but not letting it dictate your actions. It means recognizing your greed, but having the discipline to stick to your plan. Your secret weapon isn't a stock tip or an inside scoop. It's your ability to sit with your own discomfort. It's the strength to look at a portfolio that's down 20% and say, this is temporary. My thesis is still intact. I will not panic. It's the maturity to watch your neighbor get rich quick on a meme stock and not feel the need to chase it, knowing your own path is far more reliable. Emotional control is what allows you to execute your long-term plan. Without it, your plan is just a piece of paper. With it, you become an immovable force, able to navigate the market's chaos with a steady hand and a clear head. This is the internal battle you must win to build and keep real wealth. Your emotions are a survival mechanism from a different era. They are terrible advisors for a complex modern financial system. Your job is not to eliminate your emotions, but to create a system, a written plan, clear rules that you can follow even when your emotions are screaming at you to do the opposite. That's the hallmark of a true investor. 4. The hidden cost of impulsive spending is a silent wealth killer. This is the quiet habit Warren Buffett is warning us about. It's not the big, catastrophic financial mistake that takes you down. It's the death by 1,000 cuts. It's the daily coffee you don't need, the subscription you forgot you had, the treat-yourself purchase that's become a weekly ritual, the online shopping cart you check out of on a whim. These small, seemingly insignificant expenses are a massive leak in your financial boat. Warren Buffett's philosophy is rooted in value and frugality. He still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958 for $31,500 in Omaha, Nebraska. He's not driven by the need to show off his wealth, but by the joy of building and preserving it. He understands that every dollar saved is a dollar that can be deployed as capital, a soldier in his wealth-building army. Impulsive spending is the enemy of that. Every dollar you spend on a momentary want is a dollar that can't be working for your future. It's a dollar that can't be invested to grow into $2, $10, or $100 over time. The math is simple but brutal. Let's say you spend an extra $50 a week on non-essentials. That's $200 a month or $2,400 a year. If you invested that money at an average annual return of 7%, in 30 years you wouldn't just have saved $72,000, you'd have a nest egg of over $200,000. That's the power of compounding you're giving up for a temporary dopamine hit. This habit is so dangerous because it's invisible. You don't feel the loss of that future wealth when you swipe your card. You only feel the small pleasure of the purchase. But over time, this habit transfers your future security to the companies you're buying from. It's a direct trade of your long-term freedom for temporary comfort. The key is to build a system, not just willpower. Create a budget that includes a fun money category so you don't feel deprived, but stick to it. Implement a 24-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over a certain amount. Give your future self a voice in your present-day decisions. Ask yourself, is this purchase more important than my future vacation, my child's education, or my early retirement? By